To those gargantuan Goliaths of the gridiron for that bouncing behemoth ballet known better as professional football. And keep in mind that this season we'll ask the enigmatic question, can Joe Namath, that parsimonious purveyor of perfume and pantyhose, make the metamorphosis from Broadway Joe of the Jets to Burbank Joe of the Rams? Some people are of the view that he's the only quarterback alive who can make that great Rams team 4-10 this coming year. And to answer that and many other questions...
We're joined by my former teammate and fellow Hall of Famer, Joe Namath. Joe, welcome to the John Riggins Show. Thank you for giving us some time this afternoon.
Hey, John, thank you. You know, I always get a kick out of visiting with you, and the way you introduced that Howard Cosell bit gave me several good chuckles here, buddy. Thanks for bringing back some memories.
I figured I'd get off on your good side right out of the blocks. I'm going to ask you now, did you ever work with Howard?
You know, it was always work with Howard. I was a 22-year-old back in '65, and that's when I first met Howard, and he was bigger than life then, boy. And I just basically, John, kept quiet and just observed this man carrying on for a couple of years or several times, and we got along very well. Except Howard had a habit. We were in Toots Shores one night, and when Howard was talking to what he called young men or young fellows, 22, 23-year-old guys, he had a habit of putting his hand on your face. A little smack, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we went through that one time, and he understood.
I'll never forget, we were on a bus. I forget where we were going. They were doing the Monday night game, and Cosell went along with the Jets. And I remember, for whatever reason, I'm sitting there in my seat, and Cosell sits down beside me, and he goes, John Riggins, Howard Cosell, you'll remember this moment for the rest of your life.
That's it.
And I'm wondering, did he tell you the same thing?
It's a piece of work.
You know, I just got thinking, Joe, back when we were playing, I'm not mistaken, that, you know, you were one of those guys that actually transcended this rule. Because I can remember so many times guys would hit you, but they would kind of help you before you hit the ground. They had so much respect and were and I'm serious now. I remember Wally Chambers and with the Chicago Bears, Bubba Smith, these guys, hey, Joe, I hate to do this, but, you know, I got to hit you. And then they'd lower Joe to the ground. It was the damnedest thing I ever saw.
They were cradling him?
Yeah. One time Ernie Ladd hit me. We were out in San Diego, and we had a tight end delay on. And this is when George Sauer was even playing tight end. And as I'm going back, Ernie had come clean, so I'm yelling, George! And I let it go, just guessing, man. And Ernie hit me. I tell you what, I saw some gold flash. I'm on the ground, and now I'm getting yanked up. I'm looking through the ear hole of my helmet. And Ernie says, don't worry, Broadway, I'm not going to hurt you. I hit you high, buddy. And he helped me up, said he wasn't going to hurt me, and I thought it was in the next week already.
Yeah, that was my rookie year. We go down to, I think it was Tampa, playing the Detroit Lions. Now, I didn't play in the game because I just come from Chicago in the All-Star game, but I remember it was preseason. You threw an interception. I think the middle linebacker for the Lions was Lucci, wasn't it? Mike Lucci. He, you know, and that's where you chased him down, tackled him, and ended up tearing ligaments in your knee. Now, after all these years and thinking about that, being a preseason game, and considering the way the game is now, would you still make that play?
Well, you know what, John? That wouldn't have happened now, because if your butt would have been there instead of at a college all-star game, you'd have been in the game on that play. And actually, it wasn't an interception. It was the old P10 to another rookie fullback named Lee White, I believe.
Oh, you mean it was a running play and he fumbled and you chased down?
Yes.
That even makes it worse, Joe.
John, we had a team that year that could have been, I mean, damn. And that was your fault. I didn't realize that was 71.
You know what? If you'd have put me in, I'd have ran over you because I didn't know the plays at that point, Joe. I just gotten there.
Well, being a semi-veteran at that time, I bet you I'd have gotten out of the way.
Listen, there's another moment I want to ask you about, and it was later that year. you remember Bob Davis and Woodall, they was kind of going back and forth while you were out and rehabilitating, and then eventually you got back into the lineup. And I forget, they both were out there, and we're playing San Francisco at Shea. Whoever was the last man standing gets hurt, and you weren't supposed to go into the game, and you weren't supposed to play till the following week, but they were out of, Jets were out of quarterbacks. So Weeb says, Joe, do you think you can go? And you said, sure. And so you go out on the field. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. Shea Stadium, for a solid, and 5 minutes, people think ain't that much, but I'm telling you, for a solid 5 minutes, that stadium, people were standing. It was a standing ovation with 65,000 people. It was the damnedest thing. And I have to tell you the truth, Joe. When you got in the huddle, I closed my eyes and pretended it was for me. But do you have to remember that moment?
I do. I remember that night. I sure do. And that was after the same injury. And we almost pulled that one out, but we didn't. But
all right, Joe, I can't thank you enough, and hopefully I get to talk to you down the road sometime. You're a great guest. Thanks so much.
Oh, I'll be seeing you around, buddy. You
okay,
take
Joe.
care and give your buddies my best, too.